So the next in the series of global healer, leader, clinicians that I want to talk about is Brian Weiss, Dr. Brian Weiss. I worked with him many times, went to many of his workshops for about a decade and followed him, and I would say stalked him for a while, and actually was used as a demonstration subject toward the end of my work with him in Austin, Texas. And it's to me, a funny story. So I, at this point, had been regressed in terms of past lives of many, many times. And so he called me, he asked for volunteers to do a demonstration for this particular certification training. And he told me that he used me because I would go into trance very easily and deeply. And it was kind of a sure thing, as he described it. So I'm up on stage. He, puts the microphone on me, and he does his usual induction. And to this day, whenever I hear Brian Weiss's voice, it just puts me down. Meaning I go into trance very easily and very deeply. And this particular time, the way past life regression works in terms of this public demonstration was that he puts you in trance, and then he asks you questions about what you're seeing and what you're noticing. And so I was describing a lifetime, and I quote, "Well, I'm female in this lifetime. It's during the time of the Holocaust, World War II. It's in the 40s. I'm in a European country, Central Europe, Germany, Austria, or Switzerland. I'm on a hillside. I'm wearing a white dress and flat shoes, and there's a grassy knoll that I'm walking around. And I know that I work as a governess for a commanding officer in some army. I didn't really remember, and that there were a lot of kids that I was taking care of, and that I was helping also free and liberate the Jews from Nazi Germany." And so that went on. And for those of you that have been around for a while, you may recognize the story. So he brings me out of trance and snaps his fingers, and 3, 2, 1, come out of it. Now understand, for those of you that know my history, I was always very skeptical of all this crap. I didn't buy any of it. I was an academic trained in the Western schools, and I just thought, I was curious about it, but I didn't really buy it. And so he brought me out, and he said, in his typical Brian Weiss way, very, very chill, very mellow, so how was that? And I said, okay, Brian, now I know I'm just making it up, because my issue is intuitive awareness, you're just fabricating it? When you do a past life, are you just making it up? Is it a dream? Is it real, right? And so I said to him with great fanfare in my irreverent, sarcastic way, okay, Brian, now I just know I'm making this shit up. I've had 5 Holocaust lifetimes. I've been a Dachau guard. I've been a Russian soldier liberating a camp. I've been a gay, Holocaust survivor. I've been a Jew. And now I'm frickin' Julie Andrews and the Sound of Music. And of course, the whole house just came down with laughter, because what I had described, for those of you that know, was basically the hills are alive with the sound of music. I'm a white woman in a white dress on a hillside overlooking Salzburg, Austria, and so on. So that's my funny anecdotal story. Now, the funny response that he said was, well, who knows, you might have been. And he said, well, we don't know the whole multiverse idea. And I kind of shut down. I did that. This was 20 plus years ago. And I said, well, wait a minute. How is it possible that I could have now 6 Holocaust lifetimes? And he said, there's a lot we don't understand about that, in that there's a multiverse and that there are multiple universes happening simultaneously. And of course, I just started shutting down, because my linear brain couldn't even process it. And even today, I still wonder, am I just making all this up? And so that's for you. That's Brian Weiss. He's still around. Read Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss if you want more about past life and past life regression.